Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard, yeah, great guy, man. Had a chance to work with Bruce a long time, and I gave Bruce this name. I used to call him Master Bruce because he was, he was running things, So I used to just mess with him, What you need today, Master Bruce? And and I always enjoyed working with Bruce, man. When he was producing my stuff, a lot of stuff I did. Bruce was one of the producers, and to work with Bruce was always a thrill, man, because he was real smart too, and I learned a lot from him.
Now, some of these names are going to be fairly random, but bear with me on them. Stan Lane.
I remember him from back in the day, with the Midnight Express and Cornette and them. That's basically all. But always, I hadn't seen him in Jesus Christ years and years. But back in the day, he was one of what a nice guy. Never had any problem with him.
R-Truth.
R-Truth, another guy. Watched him kind of grow a little bit with his career, but he did okay for himself. And I think he got involved in the rap game, so I think he wanted to pursue a career in rap and his future in the rap music. So I don't know what he's doing right now. I haven't heard anything from him, but he was always nice.
No, I mean, that dude does not age. I think he's 51. He still looks like he's like 27. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's got them good genes.
Yep, definitely. Definitely. I want some of that. Next one is Sable.
I didn't communicate with her too much. I knew her when she was married to Mark Mero, and I knew a little bit then, but I never did talk to her too much. I remember one time we was overseas, and somebody shit in her bag or something like that. And she wanted to take, I think she took it back, or she wanted to take the shit back to the States to get a DNA on it so they could tell her whose shit it was. I never heard of that before, but like I said, that was a story about her, but I never did, like I said, talk to her too much. I didn't know her that well.
No one asked you for a shit sample then.
No.
Next one is Randy Orton.
Oh, Randy, good guy, man. Met him, me and him started hanging out when he first, broke into the business. I had a chance to work with his daddy back in the day. And I remember one time, me and his father, one night we was somewhere, I forget where it was, but we smoking, and we had smoked somewhere, we was hungry. So we ended up going to the White Castle. And I ended up eating about 15 White Castles. I was sick as a dog. And the next day I had to go to Philly and do a signing with Joe Goodhart or something, I believe his name was. He had this signing in Philadelphia. And boy, I sit there at a table and I just threw up all day long. I'm telling you, I ate 15 White Castles. Me and Bob Orton. Yeah, me and Bob Orton. And so that when I met Randy Orton, me and Randy, started hanging out. And we had great times. We'd take breaks on TV. Randy had a bus, so we go to. That's the one time I got in trouble with Vince. When I had this dog match that I had to do, so I didn't understand, about Vince, how professional, and how everything is business. He filmed everything. So I'm thinking the dog match, I really got nothing to do. I'll just go out and make the dog match. So me and Randy, we're on his bus. So we're smoking because I'm done. So we're fucking high as a kite. Next thing I know, it's time for to make the dog match. So I run out to make the dog match, and Randy's in the dog match. So we're in St. Louis in his hometown. So I'm so high, I'm out. He's the Viper. He's the legend killer. He's your hometown boy. I'm just fucking, it's going crazy. So about that time, I come back through the gorilla, and Vince is standing up, and he's waiting on me. He's telling me, come here. And so I walked over there, so I knew I was in trouble. So he says to me, you in business for yourself out there? I said, no. He says, well, God damn it. They know he's a legend killer. This is his hometown. They know he's the Viper. Why in the hell you got to keep telling them? And I just caught myself and I said, sir, you're exactly right. I said, I was playing. I said, I promise you that'll never happen again. And he looks at me and he said, yeah, you're better than that. And that was the only time I ever had a problem with him. He never got on me again because I didn't never fuck up no more.
A steamed interview in with the next name. Sorry, so it's Timmy White.
Who?
Referee Timmy White.
Timmy White. Timmy White was a good guy. He helped me a lot when I first started in WWE because I went there as a referee. So Timmy was one of the guys that kind of came to me and helped me out a little bit. So Timmy was a great guy to work with.
Greg Gagne.
Greg, I met him over, time and stuff. Always a nice guy. I don't know really that much about him. Didn't get a chance to work with him much, but Greg was always a, nice guy.
Lex Luger.
Lex Luger, great guy, man. He's come around a lot. I really enjoy being with Lex now. Back in the day, everybody had their faults. He's doing that prima donna stuff, but sometimes that stuff come back to haunt you. So I think with Lex now, he's come around. He's put God in his life, and so I'm just happy that he's still alive and doing well.
Ryback.
Ryback, I worked with him a little bit. Didn't hang out with him too much, but he was always a nice guy.
Missy Hyatt.
Missy Hyatt, never. Well, here's a story about her. Let's see. I was with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. She was married to Missy he was married to Missy at the time, and they didn't live too far from me. I was in Woodstock, and Eddie and Missy, they went maybe 15 minutes from my house. So I went around to Eddie's house. Eddie wanted to smoke all the time, so I'd go to his house and bring the smoke, but Missy wouldn't let us smoke in the house. She'd kick us out and made us smoke outdoors. So I'm like, man, this is your house. You can't smoke in your own house. So it is this. So she was being a bit of a dick too. So
Nikita Koloff.
Nikita Koloff. I worked with him for a while. I never will forget the story. My wife, she couldn't smarten her up if you open her head up. So one time we was in Columbus, like was going to Columbus, Georgia. So she was riding with me at that time. So we was driving. So Nikita starts talking in his natural voice. He's not speaking the Russian. So she's in the front seat with me, and she's looking at me, and she's looking at him, and she's just hunching me like, he's not Russian. He's not Russian. I'm like, will you please? Oh yeah, she couldn't believe it because he wasn't speaking red. It shocked her, man. And that was a true story right there. She couldn't believe it, man. He ain't really Russian. Why didn't you tell? I'm like, will you please calm down?
I'm gonna give
that was my wife. Couldn't smarten her up, but save her life.
I'm gonna give you two names, and then I will shut this down. Mr. Kennedy, Ken Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy, I had a chance to see him like 3 months ago. Worked an indie show with him, man. Nice guy. He was one of the guys that was when I had Rodney Mack, we were doing the White Boy Challenge. Well, Mr. Kennedy was one of the guys that were part of the White Boy Challenge. So I never will forget, he come out on TV and I cut this promo on him, and he had the blonde hair. And I said to him, I said, see, you want to be white so bad, you done dyed your hair white. And this was written that stuff got to come off the top of your head. But Vince kind of trusted me with stuff. I wasn't going to say nothing screwed up, that would mess up nothing. So I kind of got away with that, and he liked it. So that helped me out too a little bit.
I've lied there. I'm still going to give you two names. Second to last, I promise you this, Terry Funk.
Terry Funk, great guy, man. Helped me out a lot when I was breaking into the business. There's several guys that I call on Christmas and wish them a Merry Christmas, and it was Terry Funk, Ricky Steamboat, and Harley Race. They really, took care of me back in the day. So Terry was a great guy to work with. I never will forget, and Kevin Sullivan, if you ever talk to him, he'll tell you this story. I went one time with Terry. I went to Amarillo, and we wanted to go by Terry's house. But anyway, before we got there, it's me and Kevin, and we passed the Polydor Canyon in Amarillo, Texas. Well, I'm full of Valium. I'm so high till I look up at the Polydor Canyon, and I tell Kevin them to stop. Let's take a look at that. So it's me, Kevin, and his son, Ben. So we start climbing the Polydor Canyon. Okay, so as we start coming back down, Ben, I guess he loses his watch. That's Kevin's son, and he left his watch up on one of the rocks. So now Ben said, leave it alone. Don't worry about it. No, you know me. No, Ben, I'll get your watch. I'll find it. I'll go back up there. So I go back climbing up the rocks looking for Ben's watch. And so when I get up to the one rock and I see the watch, but it's on another rock. Well, the volumes tell me, said, all you got to do is just take a jump right there and you'll be right over on that other rock. Well, that wasn't true. I took that leap and that was it. I start coming down. Coming down the Polydor Canyon, and I've got both my arms like this, and all the skin is off both of my arms when I get down to the bottom. That's how, because I couldn't stop myself. I'm going down, but I fell down the Polydor Canyon.
Oh, God. I heard Shane laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Very last one, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. Had a chance to work with Paul back in the day when he was managing the Samoans and a lot of other guys. So me and Paul always got along. I never had no problem with Paul.